Another clue you might be ready for information marketing. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I want to talk about information marketing because it's a whole lot of what it is that I work with my clients on, and it's a whole lot of what I do. And so it's one of those things that I just see more and more and more needed with most businesses, especially businesses that already have a lot of traffic, a lot of deal flow happening, a lot of people that you're getting in front of already. You're getting in front of ideal clients to begin with. If you're in that type of position where you're already in the mix, the next big step, and I'll tell you why this came up. The next big step is information marketing. Okay, let's get into that in a second. The reason why this came up is I was working with a client of mine, and she was discussing, well, she wasn't discussing, we were in a webinar with a bunch of potential customers. A lot of people that she's known, people who have been customers in the past, along with people who are potential customers, and people at all different levels. And the one thing we were getting back was a whole lot of questions, very common questions, the type of questions that take you in a whole different direction. And you can tell they're applying to try and see if they can do some of the work that her and her company does themselves. They're seeing if they can plug in some of these ideas, if they can milk her for ideas and be able to move forward. Now, if you're in a position where you're doing a heavy service, or you're doing something of an expert level for people, the instant reaction is to be offended and say, why don't you just pay me to do it, and to kind of have that kind of attitude about it, or say, hey, you could try it yourself, but you're going to fail, type of thing. And you have to look at it a slightly different direction. If you're getting a lot of questions like that, and that's the type of field that you're in, or they're the type of questions that don't have anything to do with what you're doing, that's also another thing that can really clue you into the fact that you need information marketing. Here's why. If someone's asking you for all those things, chances are if they don't get it from you, they're going to get it from somebody else. And in the long run, what matters most is your relationship with them over time. It's not how much money you're making off of them today or tomorrow, or how much money you made off of them up till now. It's how much money you're going to be making off of them over a lifetime. If you're just talking dollars and cents, that's what it comes down to. And the way you increase that is you increase trust. And the way you increase trust is by increasing the amount of time that you have with them and the amount of expertise that they view you as having. And a big piece of doing that is having information marketing. So, one of the initial pieces, I don't have a huge information marketing offering from brianjpombo.com quite yet. We've got a lot of plans in the future that we're going to be developing. We have a whole lot of stuff that you can get out there, information that I'm putting out there for free to kind of flood the market and get the word out. All the different podcasts that I have that you could find at brianjpombo.com/podcasts. My book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. This is a form of information marketing. It's very specific. It's a book. It's not going to appeal to everybody, but it's there. You can get your own free copy at amazonproofbook.com. But you can do the same thing by creating audio conversations and any type of video, audio, or written course you can have put together relatively simply, and turn that into an information product. You can have that information product sitting on your website for sale. It could be digital. That's the best thing nowadays. It could be digital, and people are so appreciative of getting something quick and digital. You can have a physical component and be able to outsource it to where it gets printed and sent off and you never have to worry about it or touch it. Just like I do with this book in places like Amazon.com, where they print it on demand, they send it, and I get my cut, and the publisher gets their cut, and so on and so forth. All that's possible whether you're dealing with physical items, a thumb drive with digital items on it. There's a place for physical things. But you don't need to start there. You can start on the digital end and do really, really well just putting the thing together and putting it on your website, even if nobody ever buys it. The fact that when someone asks a question, you say, that's a great point. We've got this course on our website that's all about that. It fills that out. We got 50 different doodads on there that cover your exact question. So if you're wanting an answer to that right away, just go on the website, go type this into the search bar, and it'll take you right there. And you could buy it for $200, whatever it is. You know, and I'm not saying, the best thing about information, you could price it however you want, however much you think is reasonable, and not even reasonable, however much you think that people that would get the right attention for you. You don't want to overprice it to the point to where people think you're a nutcase, but at the same time, you certainly don't want to underprice it. If you have something on there for a decent high-end price, it doesn't matter if anybody ever buys it, because the fact that you went through the effort of putting together a course about that topic, they know you know what you're talking about. Because why else would you offer, especially if you have there's all the marketing around it adds to the value, whether they purchase it or not, or whether they come to you for consulting or whatever it is that you offer. I'm not sure if all that makes sense. There's so many levels to information marketing, but you can use it if this sounds familiar to you, if this is a familiar situation to what you're dealing with. If you're wondering whether your company really could use information marketing and whether it would be actually useful to you and your customers or potential customers, go and leave a comment down below, or go and message me over on my website, brianjpombo.com. I'd love to hear from you about your specific situation. If you don't mind, we'll talk about it right here. If you want, we'll plug your thing, or we'll do it anonymously. But I'd love to hear more about your business. Reach out to me. That's all I got for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, just get out there and let the magic happen.